We good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, let's do another sync.
Okay, you gonna put that down, Rose?
I'm working on it.
Oh no, I'm throwing shade at you right now.
Dude, I only got to play for like 30 minutes today. I didn't even see the rabbit. It was kind of concerning. I don't know where he is, or what he's doing.
You know,
oh my God, he's in the
either.
house.
I didn't actually set foot in my house. He could be in my house.
But he said that he only hid the eggs on the outside.
What if the rabbit's waiting on the inside for you?
Ew.
Welcome to your April 2020 edition of the Playdate Podcast, the inaugural edition. I'm your host, Finn, and joining me today is your pretty princess, Jon.
Yes, hello.
Your prettier princess, Rose.
Ooh, hi.
And, of course, me, your prettiest princess.
Of course.
I mean, I get it. I'm good with that.
I want to point out to the viewers at home that wasn't an off-the-cuff thing I just did. That was by Jon's request.
Yes, it was.
Yes. If you ever watch our stream, then Jon is... Just come on in and say, hello, Jon, the pretty princess.
I word vomit a lot. You'll find out, especially on these podcasts that we're all on. For some odd reason, I just was either upset or I needed a word vomit to calm myself down. Yeah. And I just yelled out, I am the pretty princess. And it stuck.
It has stuck.
What game was that you needed, like, a calm down phrase?
Who knows?
I have no idea.
We have Manic Monday for a reason. Although it could have been the chillest game ever and Jon could have gone off on it. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I just went off the rails. It could have been Bloodborne. It could have been anything.
Yeah, just Sekiro, Bloodborne. It's all just one big blur.
It's all the games we play.
I mean,
just
it could have been
blur.
Animal Crossing. Who knows?
we don't know. It's just one day I just said it like in response to something that, yes, I am the pretty princess. Yeah. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little inside baseball here, but I had to sit these two down to record two of these episodes at once, and the one request that Jon put in was that he be called a pretty princess. So
yes, he needed to be introduced as the pretty princess.
Whatever it takes to get you going, man. Like, I'm not going to judge. So here we are, guys. The first episode, the first official episode of our official podcast.
Yes,
we've been wanting to do something like this for a while, ever since we did those E3 reactions back this year.
Yeah.
It was just something where you guys and me and Tim and Keith, we've been doing stuff for even longer than before we got you guys brought into the fold.
Yeah.
But there's just something about us we click and we want to make cool stuff. So this is the first of it.
Yeah, here we are. You're right. It just clicked for all of us and we're like, let's do this.
And hopefully there'll be more soon. So since this is the first episode, I feel I better explain. This is a podcast where we talk mainly about what video games we've been playing on a monthly basis. Sort of like a casual review style. We're not going into the nitty-gritties of each game we're playing, just sort of giving a general idea. Sort of like a water cooler discussion, like if you were with your friends just talking about different cool things you found in games, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think the first note we better land on is a game we've all been playing since it came out at the end of last month, and that is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yay!
Rose, I feel like it's most appropriate to start off with you. Where are you at right now with Animal Crossing New Horizons?
I think I'm something like 50 hours in now.
Whoa.
Let me see. I've got it right here. Yeah, 50 hours or more, according to my Switch.
Does Switch tell you like hours you've played? Because I've been looking for that feature forever.
Yes, it's in your profile. You have to be over 10 days having played the game.
Ah, okay.
Because otherwise it'll just tell you first played 3 days ago.
I'm going to grab my Switch over there, see how long I've been playing.
After the 10 days, then it'll tell you, oh, you've been playing for 5 hours or more. You've been playing for 50 hours or more. And then you can go spy on your friends and they're like, oh, this person has played Smash for 295 hours. Yes, I have a friend like that.
Yep.
But
let me see, I've only been playing for 10 hours or more. So yeah, you've played a lot more than me.
Yeah, I think Jon's
I'm at 25 or more.
So considering how little I get to play video games, I've been putting a lot of my time into this game. But for me, obviously, it's a really fun game. They have made a lot of quality improvements since New Leaf. The textures in this game are fantastic. I docked my Switch and played it on the big TV when I was first starting, and that's actually kind of what got Jon into playing it the first day. Because he was just like, you know what? There are things that unroll every single day. Let me start this the same day as you so that we can get kind of the same things.
Yeah.
I love the crafting system. I think that that's a lot of fun. Fishing is just always calming in this game.
For sure. That was the first thing I did. I just, on the first night I got it. It was actually the midnight release. And
nice.
I just, once I got into the swing of things, I just sat and fished until I was ready to go to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
It was so calming.
I also love the bug catching. It takes a little bit for me to figure out where the bug is on the screen. The spatial awareness is a little rough in this game.
I struggle with that with fish. I not so much the bugs, but the fish really get me. I have no idea where they are. My rod's in another river.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like.
Oh, yeah. And especially if you turn just a little bit and then you're 500 feet away from the fish and you're just how did that even happen? So spatial awareness in the game is a little bit of a problem for me. I kind of I know I've seen some reviews talking about how you need to time travel to really enjoy the game and get through everything. I kind of like how I got a little bit every single day. So without the time traveling, I kind of like the slower start and just knowing that I'm going to be able to climb up those cliffs at some point.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was at with it, where I knew I could sink 30 minutes in a day or maybe an hour a day and get enough enjoyment out of it. It was cool as well because I knew that's how you're supposed to play the game, essentially. So I knew if I just played my little bit a day, I'd be on this adventure with a bunch of other people who are also playing the game a little bit every day.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. This is my first time legitimately jumping into Animal Crossing.
Yeah. All of them.
All of them. I played New Leaf for a little bit
for me.
But my main concern with New Leaf was on the 3DS. I have giant freaking hands. And even the 3DS XL was not comfortable for me. And that's what kind of caused me not to really jump into it.
I mean, even the Switch is rough for you.
The Switch is rough.
The Satisfy grip.
Yeah, I have to have the Satisfy grip if I'm going to
not
do it.
Not an ad, by the way.
Yeah, not an ad. But yeah, you really kind of pushed me into it. And in a good way. I don't want this to be
I was just I need someone to play with other than all the people in our Discord.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll jump in. And I bought it probably, 3 hours after you did?
Something like that.
And I jumped in, and I didn't expect it to hook me. I'm not the person who wants to jump into the same game every single day to do quote unquote monotonous things. And for some odd reason, this grabbed me. And here I am 25 hours later. I don't know what happened because there's something about it. And I don't know, maybe it's just the times that we're in right now with what's going on in the real world that we have
a little extra time,
a beautiful escape for it. So maybe that's what it was that really kind of got me. And just being able to leave the escapism that is beautiful about video games. This one hit a note that I guess I needed right now in this moment.
I get that.
Yeah, it couldn't have come out at a better time, right? The world needed Animal Crossing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 100%. It's very not weird, but it's interesting looking at
how that lined up.
Yeah, how that lined up perfectly with Animal Crossing. And then I'll even throw in Doom. So you have two ends of the spectrum right there going so chill, so relaxing. Just the most over-the-top game to get that rage out.
A little bit of both.
Because you need a little bit of both. Yeah.
I'm not into Doom, but that's because I don't do shooters.
But yeah, Animal Crossing, it's fantastic. I love the game.
Okay. So downsides to the game.
Yes.
I'm spending way too much time in it. It's sucking my life away. Also, I'm not a big fan of the event going on right now. The Bunny Day event.
Yeah, as we're recording this is the second day of the Bunny, or what was it, the Egg Day? Bunny Day?
Egg Day, Bunny Day.
Something like
that,
They're
calling it something like that. It's Easter.
Yeah, it's Easter.
But But yeah, just the way that they are trying to trick you into making everything, which is kind of how it's always been with Animal Crossing, from what I can tell. Like they really push their events, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of, oh, let me go fishing. It's another egg. Let me go find a fossil. There are eggs?
Yeah,
So-
just it's sort of like it interrupts whatever you were doing before, right? Like,
yeah.
I want to find fossils to give to the museum. It's an
Yeah.
egg.
Yeah. And then somebody online was also pointing out it also kind of interrupts the fun of the deserted island that you can go to with that you pay for the Nook getaway.
Yeah, the Nook Miles.
Yeah, the Nook Miles. And then you go to the Dodo airport and you go to a deserted island and you can just gather so many resources. And half of them are eggs right now.
Oh, the eggs are on the islands as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't even
Yes.
done that yet. That's going to be
Yeah.
annoying. I might
Oh,
just
it-
wait. I'm just going to wait until it's over.
I understand.
I almost want to, and what it's sad, but you're right, is it's kind of taken a little bit of the fun away from me because I
yeah.
liked the hey, I might get a dinosaur bone, a skeleton or
Yeah.
fossil. Thank you. And I was like, oh, it's an egg. Why?
Another thing that I don't think that they're using correctly is the bunny himself, Zipper. Like when you first started, then he was just like, oh, well, go find my eggs and then come back and talk to me. So I went out and I got one of each of the 6 eggs. And then I came back to talk to him and he was just like, oh, bunny day is coming. And just like gave no shits about the eggs that I went out and found. And he's just like, go find some DIY recipes and make everything and I'll give you something at the end. And I'm just like, what? I don't want to do this, bunny.
Yeah.
Let's also add in that Zipper is just straight nightmare fuel.
A little bit. But the bunnies in this game are kind of nightmare
That's true.
fuel. Most of them. Some of them are cute.
Yeah, the Animal Crossing, like the subreddit and the Facebook groups, they're memeing the hell out of this bunny.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny to see.
Yeah. But for sure, the one upside for this event for me is the cherry blossoms. I really like
I
the
love
cherry
the
blossoms.
cherry blossoms. I'm trying to catch as many of those petals as I can because I want to make some of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't get why I have to catch the petals. I would rather just like shake a tree and a bunch fall out.
Yeah.
But you know,
That would be nice. But, why do that when they can just put the eggs in some of the sakura trees?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for me, the game definitely has its downsides. Like again, we talked about like aiming for fishing and bug catching as well.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a tweet from Alana Pierce saying, I played Doom on hard mode and somehow my aim in Animal Crossing is worse than it is in Doom.
I saw that tweet and I kind of follow that idea because
Just
it's weird.
when you're digging
yeah.
a hole for a fossil, you can dig like 8 holes around the fossil you're trying to get to before you get to the fossil.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that is because when they first started Animal Crossing, because after I got New Leaf, John and I actually went out and I found the original game on the GameCube, and it has always been a grid system. Like Animal Crossing has always been very grid laid out. So if you can figure out where the lines of the grid are, then it will help your aim,
Yeah.
at least for digging. It still doesn't help me with catching fish or occasionally with bugs. So I don't know.
Yeah, and like just small things. Like I hate that I can turn the camera in every direction in the house, but outside of the house it's like nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish
like,
that you could actually look around a little more.
there'll be a nice waterfall over there that I just can't look at. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kind of sucks.
yeah. But like, it's weird how none of that takes away from just how relaxing the game is for me.
Yeah.
It's just
One of those
such
strange
a
things.
like you said, it's a time suck, right? Where like I haven't
Oh, yeah.
felt a time suck in a game like this since Civ, and I've put
Oh wow! I know you and Civ. Jeez.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
put like thousands of hours into Civ between 5 and 6. It just like you go in for 30 minutes and you're just like just a little bit, you know, I'm not committing too hard this time around.
Oh,
Just checking in with the villagers. Nah, and then 3 hours pass and you're actually still
has
doing
actually been
things.
big reason that I have not gotten into Civ, because I've played it a couple times and then I'm just like, you know what? I need to not, because otherwise I'm going to sit here and play this for 8 hours a day. So I understand.
But it's weird in Civ because Civ, you actually have a to-do list at all points in time, and you have like timers ticking down. You always have clear short, mid, and long-term objectives. In Animal Crossing, like, some people might be turned off by it because, like, there's nothing to do, really, but also there's so many things to do, it just depends on how you look at it. Because, the game is totally freeform. You could just be doing stuff on that. Like, I'm behind a lot of people right now in terms of, like, getting villagers to my island and building stuff, just because I've been looking at furniture and collecting bugs and stuff.
Oh, same here.
And just ignoring some parts of the game and really getting into others.
Oh, yeah. I'm just here like, you know what? I want to buy so many clothes. I want to change my clothes every day. And
I don't really like. I have a few friends that like are all playing it. Like 4 or 5 friends. I don't think I've ever had this many friends invested in like a game at one time. I've only really visited this one friend of mine's island, but I just keep like sending him letters. It's just like the best part of my day. Just figured out. Today in the shop they had this like doll, and I put the doll in the letter and I says, "This is your child, take care of it." And so I'm hoping to see what reaction he sends back.
Mother of God, it's my child.
I mean, that's kind of like the other day I saw these little short shorts, and so I bought some for me, and then I bought a second pair and gifted it to John and said, "I knew you wanted some booty shorts."
That did happen, yes.
Yeah.
I am wearing them with high knee socks.
Yes. In the game.
In the game. Not right now. That would be weird if I was doing it right now.
It would be awesome if you were doing it right now.
Oh, then you can imagine it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Audio listeners, go on this journey with me. But yeah, it's pure joy. I don't know what other way to describe it. I just run around like having a good time.
And that's probably the best way to describe it too. It really is. It is pure joy. It is the almost epitome of escapism when it comes to that. And you're right. I'm used to it now. But when I first jumped in, I was like, what do I do? Tom Nook, point me in a direction. Yeah. And he kind of gives you a direction. Does. And then you do it and he goes, all right, cool.
Go have fun.
Go have fun. I'm like, no. No, Tanuki, you need to tell me what to do. and he doesn't. I'm like, all right, well, I'll build a bridge, I guess.
Yeah.
Got some Nook miles for you here. You want some Nook miles?
I'm sorry, you got stung by wasps. Here's some Nook miles for you.
Yeah, that's about it.
Since we're on the topic, like, how much time have you guys spent in your houses? Like, what do they look like? What's in them? You know, how have you been decorating? Because I feel like that's a big part for me, where I just want to make my house look real nice inside, so that when people come over, I can show off all my lovely things. I don't know whether to go for like a theme yet. I've sort of been going for like a little Japanese theme. I've got I don't know what you call the walls, but sort of like paper grid walls. And then I got like a matte flooring with tape all over. And I've got like a little low down table. It's just I want to make it cozy. I haven't unlocked any of the other rooms yet. I'm still just one room for now.
I understand. I've got my front room is kind of a front room / I've got my bed in there because that's how I roll. And it's just a comfy little place. And then I've got one room off the back so far, and I'm slowly turning that into a kitchen. I'm just kind of collecting anything that I find in the stores that is kitchen-ish.
Yeah.
And I'll slowly get that built up. Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way. I actually let Rose take my Switch when I was feeling a little under the weather. I'm like, just do something. And so she kind of redid some of my the bed and whatnot. And I was like, all right, cool. This works for me. And I've got the second room in the back as well that doesn't have anything in there. So it's a really dorky, but I can't wait to get the upstairs and the downstairs. Yeah. And I actually want to make the downstairs like a recording space. Like I saw Brian Altano do it. And I'm like, God bless it, man. I love you. And I need this in my life. So I'm actually going to make the downstairs a full on, like, if we were all in an
recording
office together
lights.
doing this, and like lights and microphones and all that stuff,
Get
and
the TV.
the TVs, and
There
that way
is
we
a
could.
TV in there somewhere.
Okay, cool. But yeah, something like that where like it would be really funny if all of us just got together and sat down and took a picture in Animal Crossing of this is us all
We
quote unquote
totally should.
working on insertname.com.
We should. That would be fun.
I would love that. I think that'd be really, really funny. So that's kind of my now new goal because Tom just doesn't help me anymore.
That means that you need to start paying off your house.
I know I got to pay off the house. Jesus. Thank
Those
you for no
loans,
interest,
man.
but Jesus, that's a lot of money.
It's so much.
Perfect. John, I want to
There
go
you
back
go.
to something you said. I've never heard in my life of a person outsourcing the decorations for their Animal Crossing house to their wife.
Really?
Yeah, I've never, like, what's she doing? What's she doing to your house?
I'm making it look better?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't spend very much time in the house, and I like I said, I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling good. I'm like, I need you to jump into my island real fast. Make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
Because it's a daily to jump in. And I was like, let's just make sure I'm
Yeah.
not missing anything.
And I went around and I was just like, hey, can I change things? And he was just like, sure, go nuts.
Sure,
and
good.
then I made him open his eyes for long enough to approve what I was doing.
Yeah. It's weirdly how we roll too, because that's one of those. I know we won't talk about it, but what is it? It's the Stardew-esque kind of game where the guy runs a shop in the morning, but then goes
Oh,
and
Moonlighter. Yeah.
Moonlighter. Yeah, that was something we've always talked about doing, is like playing that game together. But Rose takes the shop aspect, and I
Yeah.
take the dungeon aspect, and that way, like,
And, like, we
I'm not
trade the
gonna. I don't
controller
want to
back
touch
and
the shop.
forth.
You do the shop.
And I
Like,
have
I will go
zero
hunt.
interest in the dungeon.
Yeah, so we've talked about actually doing a
We just haven't
playthrough
yet.
like that. It's just we'd be goofy like we
Yeah.
are.
That would be awesome for a sequel.
Yeah.
A co-op version of that where, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be
such a
great?
good
Like, that's one of those things I've always like. Stardew's always interested me in that one where Rose would take care of like
The
her
above
end,
ground.
and I will take on the dungeon because that's more appealing to me.
yeah.
So it's just one of those the
Cave and
cooperative
everything.
concept of building something out where
Yeah.
your strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa.
Mhm.
You heard it first here, indie game developers. Um,
Oh, please,
But-
yes, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
but no, I don't think I'd let anyone near my house. Like I have a large fence around my entire like garden, just to set boundaries between me and the other villagers. Like
you
they need
kids
to
get
know
off my lawn.
this is my space. I don't want like a little pig just like roaming around in my flowers. Like get out of here, you know.
Wow.
I'll come to you if I need to talk to you. I'll come to you.
My people will call your people. Okay, don't cross this barrier.
So what did you guys call your islands?
Couchtopia.
Excellent.
Couchy key.
There's a theme here. I'm getting it.
I'm feeling this idea.
What
Yeah.
did you name yours, Finn?
New Wimpa after the
That's
original.
Nice.
I
Wimpa
remember
Island.
that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love
God.
it.
It
Damn
did
it.
take me. It did take me a long time. It was like I was like sitting because I had my Switch docked too. I was sitting on my bed for like 30 minutes, just like it took me ages to think. And then I turned around, and on my shelf in my room, I have this big book where it's like it's called the Crash Bandicoot Files, where it's like all of the concept art and design docs for the original game. And my eyes just met with that, and I was like, "Wumpa Island, dude, got it."
So you don't turn around on your bed and like me and see Crash Bandicoot's head.
Whole different reason there.
Godfather style, or just like
Just there.
okay,
Just a wearable head.
yeah, yeah. It's just great how you can like jump into Friends Island so easily and just spend time there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's cool.
When I did it a few times, we didn't even use the voice. We used the in-game little like text system, which is kind of annoying. I wouldn't want to use it forever, but it was nice to just like send short little messages. We all
You
huddled
can-
around the campfire.
You
It's
can
nice.
actually pull up the app on your phone, the My Nintendo app, and you can use that to type and it'll send it in the game.
Oh, there's finally a use for that app.
Yeah, that's
Right?
yeah, finally a use for the Nintendo app.
That was exactly my thoughts. You have to connect it first, so do that before you go to your friend's island.
Okay.
But yeah, you can use that to type.
Nice. I know there are, because when we went to my friend's island, he had the ocarina, which I now have too.
Yeah.
But I heard there are like other instruments you can get in the game.
Yeah, I have
And
a ukulele.
don't they play to like the beat of the music that's currently playing in game?
I'm pretty sure they do.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you get a band, like you won't all sound like just a mesh of noise. You'll like play the tune of the game if you're all playing at once, which
You can also set the tune of your town.
I haven't done that yet.
I haven't either.
I know like people are putting up a bunch of like I don't know what to call it, but like how to make certain video game songs. Like I think the developers of Celeste let you figure out how to do Celeste music in the game. I would love to figure out how to do Crash. I would love.
Just do a search for it. I'm sure somebody's posted it.
Yeah, and that's the other cool element of it too, right? I don't know whether they had it in New Leaf. Maybe you can enlighten me on this, but the custom designs for your clothes and stuff.
That actually did happen in New Leaf. That's why if you had one in New Leaf, it was a QR code. And you can still scan it with your My Nintendo app and it'll upload into the game. But the easier way to do it now is to go into the Able Sisters shop and use the little pink kiosk in the back corner. And you can put in creator's code or the creation code. And like you can get dresses, you can get shorts. No, I'm sorry. I don't think they have pants. But like tops, hats, face paint. You can get all kinds of. If somebody has made it and posted the code, you can get it in your town.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see the community sort of come to life with all the cool designs. There's a subreddit called Animal Crossing Fashion where people just post like little designs they've made, and that's been really cool to see.
That's awesome.
I saw one really interesting thing. I wish I had pulled up the article before because I won't be able to find it again. But they're in like Chinese players in Animal Crossing. They've set up a system where, so like you know the way you can put your custom designs on the ground. So what they've done is they made like a QR code using the custom design app and then put that on the ground. And that's actually like a link to use WeChat in China to like pay money to that dude. And he like sells different designs he's made.
Oh,
so
wow.
Like
Genius.
he has like an in-game store to sell these like t-shirt designs and stuff he's made.
Holy crap, that's impressive.
Genius. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll link the article if I find it again for the audio listeners. But yeah, that was just like, there's so many cool, whether it's memes or whether it's just designs or cool stuff like that. So yeah, I could easily, like, I'm going to be curious to see just how long this game has its hooks in me. Like, I was thinking the other day where we've just ended March, right? So there was a bunch of different fish and animals you can't catch anymore for a while. So I was wondering, like, will I still be playing this game in a year's time and be able to catch those things, or will I just have moved on to something else? And it's sort of like a toss-up for me right now. I don't see myself stopping for a while. I just don't know if it will be like a thing that sort of never leaves. But just the non-committal aspect to it, a game where I can jump in for 30 minutes and then leave, is really enticing.
And like one of the nice things is even if you do leave for an extended period of time, like nothing really happens. You might have a few more weeds on your island. The villagers that you talk to might be like, oh, you haven't talked to me in a long time. But like past that, it's just kind of business as usual.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One thing I forgot to say when I was talking about my house, it's weird how in some aspects I'll use Animal Crossing to like as a form of escapism to like live this deserted island life, and other ways where I will just do what I'm doing in my own life. So like in my house, in one of the like presents that fly by where you can shoot them down and get stuff, I got this really cool like retro stereo setup. Mm-hmm. And then every day in the store, I've been using my bells to buy. If you go into the Nook shopping in the ATM, there's always like a new album for that one character that plays music. KK. And so KK. And so I've just been like collecting these albums and framing them on my wall above the stereo.
Hold on, time out. Those are albums?
Yeah.
I thought they were pictures.
No, you can play those in the stereo, and they play like music.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
But yeah,
You
that's
can
why
customize
that's why I
what
do
actually plays in your house.
my room in real life is just like filled with these framed vinyls on the wall, and I'm doing the same in Animal Crossing, I guess. Yeah.
Well, like the company I Am 8-Bit actually posted the QR codes for like the album cover for Psychonauts and Undertale, and there were a couple others.
God,
So
I
I grabbed those a little while ago.
I could bring my real albums into my Animal Crossing house and
yeah.
put them next to the other ones.
I mean, you won't be able to hear them, but you can put them on the wall.
But that's cool. That's really cool. Then next, I'll turn to you, John, because we're going to talk about Fire Emblem Three Houses.
1 year, a little late, but let's talk about this game. Almost 1 year. So, okay, I've actually never played a Fire Emblem. I'm looking at 2020 about games like I would never play, so let me go ahead and try them. And I really have been on the fence about Fire Emblem since it was first announced. Like, there was something about it, like I really wanted to try it, and I just kind of kept on pushing myself not to do it. And then 3 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I really want to pick up Fire Emblem, and I just did. So I'm about 10-ish hours in. Animal Crossing came out and took that time away from me.
Sorry.
But
Rose apologizes on behalf of Tom Nook.
Oh no, I'm the reason he got into it at all.
I'm sorry, Tom.
I'm just here like, I'm sorry. Not really, but a little.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me that I'm really enjoying school life. I'm enjoying understanding and talking to my students.
I know, it's crazy. That teacher life,
that
man.
teacher life, yeah, I know.
When you care about your students,
it's
nice.
It's really weird. But it's thankfully, I'm in my first actual battle where someone could die, and I am stressing the hell out.
He turned on permadeath. I tried to talk him out of it.
The only way to play
and I was just like, no.
I was like, and that's the thing. I wanted the quote unquote peer experience when it came to Fire Emblem. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, all right, I'm turning on permadeath. I'm going to go still with the normal difficulty since I've never played a game like this before.
Yeah. So you've got the rewind.
The one character that you can talk to, like she asks you, what would you like? And I chose the rewind feature. That way, if I do kill one of my students, that sounds weird saying out loud, then I can rewind time and redo those couple moves. But what sucks is that you only have so many times you can rewind, especially if you like have to go back a certain amount because you don't know if your student's going to die until the enemy phase where they're moving around. So there are times when I've actually rewound until like 16 moves before my student died. So I had to replace everyone, and it is fantastic. I freaking love this game. I didn't think I was hoping I would, but you always have that fear of, crap, am I spending so much money on getting a game that I'm actually going to hate? And I'm so happy that I really do enjoy this game, and the voice acting is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The music is great, and it's cool that there is a sense of urgency and a huge sense of loss that I'm controlling these students. I'm telling them what to do, and you could die at my hand. And I'm like, that freaks me out, and I love it.
Yeah, it's weird how you mentioned like that it's a year late to like get into Fire Emblem, but it's like been popping up in my life recently where like I just keep seeing it, and like a friend of mine who, like, for context, he does not like anime. Like, he just hates the art style for whatever reason. And he like sort of makes fun of me every time I talk about things I like about Japan. And he's just like that kind of guy. But he texted me the other day. Well, actually, it would be a few weeks now. But he texted me. He was like, "Hey, I'm looking for recommendations for games for the Switch." And I was like, Fire Emblem popped into my head because I've been seeing it everywhere. And I was like, yeah, I'll just not recommend him that because like he'll see the anime art style and he won't play it. So I was like saying, maybe give Breath of the Wild another shot, like, maybe try that Mario and Rabbids Kingdom thing, trying these other games. He was like, nah. And then he was like, hey, what do you know about Fire Emblem Three Houses? And I was like,
how do I go about this conversation without saying anime?
I was like, what do you know about Fire Emblem Three Houses? And he was like, well, it seems kind of cool. I was like, give it a shot if that's what you're into. I've heard good things. And so, like, it's the only thing he talks about now. He messaged me on a daily basis telling me to play Fire Emblem. It's nuts because I know, like, I've seen enough of Fire Emblem Three Houses to know that it's a game I would like, right? So I've played things like Valkyria Chronicles, where it is that sort of, again, anime art style, sort of strategy tactics battles, and also it has the permadeath thing where you can lose people in your squad. It's kind of similar. So like, I know I would like this game if I got into it. The problem is I'm scared to get into it because I know it's such a big task. Because the Three Houses thing, like, one campaign is said to be like 100 hours, and then you can.
I thought it was 60.
Yeah, I think it's about 60 per
house.
Per house, yeah, and your fear is and still is my fear.
It has been and still is John's fear, and that's why it's been a year before that he's been putting it off starting it.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think I'll probably never get around to playing it just because I see my backlog and I see games that are coming up and I'm just like, I won't be able to commit to you. I'm sorry, Fire Emblem. In another universe, maybe, but not this.
Oh, no, I completely understand that. I was very hesitant. And I did what's coming out? What's on my backlog?
Yeah.
All right, let me. Yeah, screw it. Let me just do it. I'm a crazy person. Let's go. Let's play this game too and add it to the list of never-ending games.
Yeah. But my friend just keeps sending me, like, listen to this soundtrack, and he, like, tells me things about these characters, and I'm getting kind of invested, and he loves the tea parties, which is not something I expected from a person who dislikes anime and that whole style. Like, I thought maybe the reason he's into it is because the battle system's really good, which it probably is. But he's just adoring, like, getting to know all these people with these tea parties. And I'm just like, who are you right now? I don't know you. How good's this game?
It is a great game. I haven't even gotten to a tea party. I've asked students to have lunch with me, which that's a weird like, I'm just like, wait, I'm supposed to ask students to have lunch with me? Okay. You and you, and then I'm starting to put together, like, everything that you do in the school is to create the bond, not with just you and the student, but the students of your house and even students of other houses, to try and recruit them so they will fight more. So they'll get buffs. And I'm like, oh my God, I am the puppet master in a very positive way.
I don't know, Finn, you might have to jump into this game.
It's crazy, dude. I'm impressed. I'm impressed of how deep the mechanic concept of, blonde chick and brunette dude, you're gonna go clean the horse stables, and they will actually come back and go, I don't know why you chose us to put us together. We didn't do a good job. And the brunette dude was like, yeah, but we're learning about each other, and then their stats go up together. And so when you're on the battlefield, if they're fairly close to each other, you see a quick buff on healing or attack, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to pay a lot more attention to the meta concept of these games, or this game.
Yeah. I know that if I do play, like, even a smidgen of it, I'll get invested in these characters and not want them to die. And I'll just have to, like, play until I stop. And that's gonna be it when I finally jump in.
I can't wait for your friend to text you in tears because they lost someone. I can't wait for this.
Oh, I can't wait for John to message you and be like, don't do it.
I lost someone. Oh my God.
Rose is out of the house. I need someone right now.
I'm in this corner crying now because I lost someone.
John, just save scum it, go back, deal with it.
Go back to one of those other save points that you have just in case you knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you even can save scum it. I've save scummed Valkyria Chronicles once, just because there was a character I really liked and there was just no way out of letting her die, so I had to rewind that. But yeah, I don't know if Fire Emblem even lets you do that. If it doesn't, then oh dear.
Yeah. I haven't ran into it yet.
You don't have multiple save files?
You know, actually I do. Yeah, I do.
You're allowed to?
Yeah, I've got multiple save files.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder, does the game shame you, though? It's like,
ooh, that's a good question.
You're just going back to the save because this character
it might.
Ooh, there's a specific character that She might shame the hell out of you for doing that.
You know what?
Ooh.
Just doesn't matter.
No, it
Take
doesn't.
it anyway.
Yep. I'll take the shaming. I love you all. You're all my babies.
Yep.
All right. So, guys.
What's up?
Yes.
Wouldn't be a podcast that I'm hosting unless we get to talk about a Crash Bandicoot game.
Right.
Understood.
That there's no way for you guys to escape now. You're obligated to be here by law, I'm pretty sure.
Definitely.
And now
Law
I just
of
get
Finn.
to, and now that I've wrangled you here, I just get to talk and gush about Crash Bandicoot at yous for at least
You should
like
see
10
John's
minutes.
face right now. He is so enjoying this.
Right, I'm in the driver's seat now. I'm taking this boat straight to the moon, baby. Let's go.
I saw that on our show notes, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna take this. This is punishment
this is
for what I've
happens.
done. I
Yes.
understand. So please enlighten me.
For anyone who is curious, John 100% dislikes Crash Bandicoot, and Finn 100% loves Crash Bandicoot.
It's known. It's known that this is why we can never be friends. True
I
friends.
know. No, we've got that casual acquaintance. We're now kind of work acquaintances.
yeah.
We're buddies, but true friends. The Crash Bandicoot. There's a wall between
So
us.
sad.
So let's talk about the 2019 Sports and/or Racing Game of the Year, as voted by Jeff Keighley and his peers.
Jesus. How's that dice award coming, by the way?
Shh. Let's talk about Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Now, this game is over a year old, and you might be asking, Finn, why, for the love of God, are you here to talk about this game? It's over, it's done, move on. Well, I refuse, because I'm not going to talk about... So Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is a remake of the original Crash Team Racing that came out back in the day. I'm not going to talk about the remake aspects. I've sort of done that to death on my Twitter and on streams when I did them. You know, I sort of let my feelings known on that. But just a quick summary, it's the most faithful remake I could have possibly imagined for this game. It's great. You can play the campaign just like you did back then, and it feels great, it looks great, it's awesome. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. You know, that like the remake aspect of it, the campaign is worth what I guess it's $15-20 in stores now most of the time. If you're at all interested in kart racers, I'd recommend going to buy it. But again, that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is the other aspect of this game, which they didn't have. This all new content, the online. So when this game first came out, the online. They did the sort of Activision bait and switch, which might have turned a lot of people off, where they added microtransactions in after the reviews came out. And that might have soured a lot of people. So for anyone who hasn't played it, it was the way online worked is you did these Grand Prix, and it was sort of like a battle pass system where it would give you a list of challenges to do like daily, weekly, monthly, and you would tick them off, and you would fill up this little meter and get little cool cosmetic items for your characters, whatever. Pretty standard. The reason I'm talking about this today is because the amount of sheer love that Beanox has put into this additional content for the game is bewildering to even me. Like, I'm overwhelmed with it, right? So they added 5 new tracks, I guess, at this point for all the different Grand Prix that they've done. Really well designed tracks, you know, like they fit seamlessly into the game and its mechanics. They were really cool to play. Lots of cool themes like dinosaurs and horror, stuff like that. They've added in, I don't know how many new characters into the game, but like as like playing Mario Kart and like say like Team Sonic Racing, you're always wondering, oh, I wonder what would they do if they added this really niche character into the game, or if they added this one character that only appeared in this one game back in the 90s. You know, I wish I could just play them in a little cart. Crash Bandicoot Team Racing, Beanox have added all the characters I could possibly think of that they could add, right? And that includes people who've like appeared in only a few games, like small little side characters, but it also goes deeper. There's this one game called Crash Bash, in which this one like half gorilla, half kangaroo called Rillaroo appears.
I'm sorry, what?
And he only appears in that game, and he got added to this as a playable racer. There was a follow-up to the original Crash Team Racing called Nitro Kart, where they added a bunch of characters in. From there, they added in 3 characters from Spyro, that's never happened in a Crash game. They've added in, like, there are these 2 characters called Chick and Stew, and they're like 2 commentators that are also chickens. And they like have these little cutscenes at the beginning of each Grand Prix, and they tell you what new items there is and stuff. And they have they're playable races as well. They're chicken commentators. They're in the game. You can race them. And now all the Grand Prix are finished. They've decided, all right, now's the time to stop the Grand Prix. We've done it over a year now. So that's it. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. They've done this year of extra content. Now they're just dipping out and letting the community sort of feed out from there. But they put up this blog post recently where they were like, we're not done adding new content. First of all, we're taking away the microtransactions, right? You can just earn the coins however you want, like just through playing the game. Like, we're not going to take your money anymore. I was like, that's cool. And also we're adding in a bunch of new skins, and also this one more new track, and also a few other characters, which the most ridiculous one I've seen is, so like, John, you've played through the 3 original Crash games, or the 3 remasters, I should say.
Yes, I did.
Do you know the little checkpoint box that you have to hit to get to checkpoint?
Yeah.
And in the 3rd game, some of the checkpoint boxes are metal.
Yes.
The metal checkpoint box is a playable character in Crash Team Racing. I shit you not. It doesn't have any animations. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't say anything. It's just the box.
I'm a box boy driving a cart, but do I have hands or anything?
No,
or is it just Jesus?
You're a metal box with the letter C on it. That's what you are.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Okay, so let me first say this. I actually truly love that. I do. From someone who I dislike it, we won't get into it, but I do respect it, and I love that they actually really put that much faith, that much love into Crash Team Racing. And to give you a box blows my mind, but the idea that they did it and they're like, you know what, screw it, let's just keep on going.
Yeah.
And I fully respect them. I love that there is a game like that where they just threw everything at the wall, and weirdly, probably everything stuck.
Yeah.
And I fully support, and I think that is one of the coolest things.
It's so above and beyond what I expect a developer to go for. Because in the first Grand Prix, you can see like how many people are playing each season, and like in the first Grand Prix, it was like between 1.5 and 2 million players, and like at each Grand Prix, it sort of dwindled down and down. And I thought surely they must cut the cord at some point, but they just kept on going, kept appealing to this like really strong community. It's like they added in new stuff, so they added in new characters to this like Crash Bandicoot lore and universe. They brought in the Spyro thing was the one that set me off the most. Just like different like small things where there was this in one of the overworlds in the campaign, like where you're driving around before you actually get into a race. There was this one square with like a chicken wearing a crown, and it had like 5 eggs, and like that's probably just like something they threw in there just to look nice on the wall. But then everyone in the Crash community started theorizing, like, maybe this will open up something, maybe this is a playable character. And in one of the Grand Prix, they were just like, yeah, okay, if you go back into the overworld now and you collect the 5 eggs, that'll unlock like this chicken with a crown. And you can play him too. They added in like a bunch of just brand new stuff. It was really, really cool. That when Crash won the game award that he so rightly deserved, they had him hold it instead of his regular trophy in the title screen.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. I can gush forever about this game. I sort of want to take this moment to just thank Beanox for like everything they've done, and like, oh, it's so good. I just want to gush.
That is really cool that they're able to do all of that.
Yeah, it really is. I like that they knew that they had that community and that the community would accept it. So, and I respect that concept of the game and the game being good anyway. So I love that. And really, I love how much you love it. It really makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that Mario Kart can't add in like an Eevee as a playable character or whatever, but Crash Bandicoot can put a literal inanimate object in as a driver. Like, come on, man, that's just ridiculous.
Hey, watch out. Super Mario Kart 9. We're going to get the question block.
Ooh.
Wow. I don't think that Nintendo would ever do that.
I don't know.
No, that like Miyamoto would just look at it and go, this is stupid. Like, let's not do this.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a fighter in Smash, though.
I mean, Piranha Plant got in. He's a piece of scenery.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Moving on from that. Rose, let's talk about Catherine Full Body.
Okay, so I finally got into Catherine Full Body, which I have never played Catherine before. John played Catherine.
Yeah, I beat Catherine on the PlayStation 3.
And you went after the blonde one?
Yes, I went after blonde Catherine.
Whoa. I have no context to Catherine at all.
Okay,
Who's
so
the
in
blonde
Catherine,
one?
Catherine is an Atlas game. It's the same people that produced Persona. So it's that style of animation and that level of storytelling. So with Catherine, you play as Vincent, my bad, starts with a V. And his girlfriend is Catherine with a K. She's got brown hair. And then one night he wakes up and right next to Catherine with a C, she is blonde, because he got all drunk and cheated on his girlfriend. And he ends up having nightmares. And the nightmares is the part that you actually play. You have a little bit in the bar. You go to this bar with your friends like every night, and you interact with them, and like the way that you interact, the way that you text and call the girls influences how the game goes. So it's kind of visual novel-esque. But then at night you have this puzzle block game that you have to get through. You're climbing up these blocks to try and get out of hell. And so that's the original game, is just those two Catherines. And then Catherine Full Body is a remake. And there's one more Catherine. This one is with a Q. And she's shortened to Ren. She's got pink hair. And her path is actually the one that I went down. She's got 3 different endings, and I was able to get all 3 of them. I don't want to spoil anything with her endings or how that ends up.
For sure.
But just the way that Rin is in the game, like she's very sweet, she's very innocent. She plays the piano, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go for her first. And so I still want to go back and get all the other endings. There are 13 total. But yeah, it's a really good game. There's a lot of replayability to it. I think that Atlas did a really good job with this. I never got to play the original one.
I watched you play it, and I can say they did a damn fine job at it. Like I loved the original. It was so kooky.
Yeah.
Like it was weird, and here I am, like I'm texting another girl, and you feel that text
you feel
of like
a little dirty.
Yeah, you feel bad about that. I'm like, I don't know how you pulled this off, Atlas. This is impressive. And then you have questions like what you're finding out is men are dying. Young men are dying.
Yeah.
Through
in their sleep.
And so it's kind of foreshadowed that, oh, they're probably dying in this dream world, in the nightmare where you're trying to climb up the blocks.
Yeah.
So you're trying to escape.
Because nobody remembers the nightmare.
Yeah. You're trying to escape that concept of it. And at the very top of each of those levels, you have to pretty much pick your morality.
Yeah.
And it is some of the hardest questions. So you're like, if you really think about it, you're like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. It's asking, like, I think one of the questions is, which do you prefer, a really nice girl or physical beauty? Like, it gets into actual moral questions, and each girl has it. And like, there's a little meter that goes from one end to the other, or you can try and stay neutral. And so there's a different ending for each girl depending on the meter, except Ren. Ren is a little different. She's got her own meter. But each of the Catherines have like 3 or 4 different endings.
You're telling me this little game about climbing up blocks has moral ambiguity?
Yes.
Yes.
100%. It is actually a game about morals. Because like you have to decide if you want to stay with your girlfriend, Catherine, with the brown hair, who she finds out is pregnant, or if you want something new and exciting with Catherine, the blonde hair with the little Curly Q's.
Yeah.
Because, she's crazy, but she's fun.
She's hot and blonde and fun. And they do a good job in the storytelling in that idea of it's new.
Yeah.
And so that's that concept of the ambiguity of cheating is 90% of the time psychologically it's because it's new.
Yeah.
And Atlas does a fantastic job of writing that perfectly where you're like, oh, I'm dirty, but I get it. I need to go take a shower now after doing this, but I'm following this concept.
Okay.
And then
I'll have to look into that because I did not imagine that game would have a lot of depth.
Oh, it's actually crazy. And then I have a walkthrough that I'm using just to try and get the correct endings that I'm going for. And so I've looked ahead. There is actually a true freedom ending is what it's called.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I can't wait to get that one. That just looks fun.
Yeah, the way you guys are talking about it makes it sound like there are good and bad examples of moral ambiguity in games. Like the famous one I always see is like in the first BioShock game where you come to see this little girl crying and the options are save or harvest. And it's just like, well, obviously I'm gonna pick the save one. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy choice on that one. Yeah, because I played that one too. But yeah, this one, it's not black and white. It is they play in shades of gray, and it is like I think when I first played it on the PlayStation 3, there was one question I don't remember, but I know I sat there for 30 minutes trying
to figure out which way you want to play it.
I understand both of these concepts. I'm like, oh God, no.
Because John was trying to actually answer how he wanted to answer.
Yeah, I was playing it as if it was me and I was in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rose, I'm going to ask you, without spoiling, in your first playthrough, did you come out of it feeling satisfied with the path you went through, or did you feel
100%,
wrong?
But that's because I went with the most innocent of the girls.
Okay.
There's still a lot of craziness, and there's a huge twist to Ren's ending. And I'm not going to say it because if you don't know it, you don't want to know.
Okay. We will leave it at that and move on to the messenger.
Yes.
Hi, I'm John. I'm playing the messenger.
Pretty princess.
Tell us about the messenger, John.
Okay, so the messenger. Was one of the Switch launch titles, or came really early in the Switch life cycle.
It's been out for a little bit.
I picked it up when it came out, and I played 30 minutes of it, and I never really dove into it. It's pretty much very Ninja Gaiden. It has its roots in Ninja Gaiden, and I freaking love Ninja Gaiden. It broke me because that game is hard. But I decided that I was going to go and pick this the messenger back up, mainly because I actually kickstarted Sea of Stars, which is the prequel to the messenger, and I pretty much kickstarted it mainly because of the vinyl records.
Yeah,
for sure. That would get me too. Yep.
I saw those, and Rose and I started collecting vinyl records for video game soundtrack vinyl records.
Last year.
Yeah, within the last year, and we've been collecting this, and this just popped up on my Google feed or a Twitter account or something like that, and it's Sea of Stars, and I was like, let me look at this real fast, and oh crap, you kickstart with this amount of money, you get blah blah blah, and a personal vinyl set, double vinyl of the soundtrack, and I'm like, well, I'm sold, and minus that, Sea of Stars looks gorgeous, and it feels like Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger concepts.
Yeah, because it's an RPG.
It's an RPG, and that's what kind of got me was this is a prequel to the Messenger, Ninja Gaiden, a Ninja Gaiden style game where you're flipping between platforming. You're a ninja, 8-bit to 16-bit. It's a side scroller, and then this prequel is a turn-based RPG. Isometric with two characters at least
in your party,
and I'm like, you guys at Savatage Studios, you're just going crazy. You literally are taking, okay, that formula worked, I want to make a new formula now, and I'm like, holy hell, I respect the crap out of that.
I mean, it's worked for the SteamWorld.
That's true. It really has worked for SteamWorld and Image and Form, which I freaking love those games too. But
those lazy yacht club devs who just keep putting Shovel Knight over and over again.
I know. If only there were a few other games to play that had Shovel Knight in them.
Jesus. All right. I will take that because I have said some mean things about Crash. So I will take that in stride, sir.
Got
I
him.
appreciate that.
Got him on air. Yes. Yes.
But and actually, we just finished King of Cards, but
Yeah.
that was great. But no, the Messenger, it just got me because I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna invest money and time into this Kickstarter, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into the Messenger itself and see what it's like. And I started it last night, and I freaking love this game. It is pinpoint platforming at its best. It's not Celeste level, but it gets pretty close because there are some hard platforming levels that I just was like, it took me maybe 15, 20 minutes to get past it. And it's not like hard, but it's a nice little challenge, a nice little pushback. But what I actually really love about this game, and because I freaking love Devolver Digital, I love how much fourth wall breaking there is in this game and how funny it actually is. It's insane, the writing of this game and how well they planned it and thought it out. And if you do one thing, you can actually annoy a shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper goes, you know what, if you keep on upsetting me, you keep on pushing my button, I'm going to take away your skip text function, and I'm going to make you sit through a soliloquy of my choosing.
It's harsh. That is,
and I was like,
harsh.
I was like, all right, screw it, I'll do it. And I kept on going. He goes, all right, you asked for it. And he started going on about the concept of happiness and how, like, people think goals, you reach these goals and their happiness, and that's just an empty concept of what happiness is. And I'm like, oh my God, like Devolver Digital and the writers and Sabotage Games really kind of went deep into the idea of how to find happiness in a game about a ninja. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? You've won me over. And I just stayed on it. It's fan freaking tastic. I love it. I cannot wait to beat it. It's 13 hours long. So it's not a huge
game.
It's not a huge game. And that's kind of something I was looking for.
Size.
Yeah, it's a bite-sized game. Get it done. Understand the world that I'm now investing in with the Messenger and Sea of Stars. Yeah. So I'm excited. I can't wait for that game, and I'm loving the Messenger.
I know this isn't something you'd be interested in necessarily, but for me, platformers are always great, fun things for me to try and 100%. Do you think this would be a fun game to get a platinum trophy in?
You know what? I think it would be, because they're obviously, with most platformers, there's little side areas that if you look just right, you use your katana on, it opens up an area, and you get to unlock this chest in this mystic shopkeeper's shop. And I think it takes like 45 or 50 of these like green coins. And I think I'm about halfway through the game already, and I've only found 4.
Oh. It's probably like a quarter through the game.
Just
you started it last night.
Instant put down by Rose.
Yeah.
Oh no, he and I always misjudge how far into games we are.
That's also very true. That's a good point.
That's all that I'm saying there.
But yeah, there's these gold coins, and I think it would be a pretty good platinum for trophy hunters and stuff like that to find. Because I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know how many of these, like, not gold coins, but the green coins that open up this chest. I don't know how many there are per level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually think it would be worth the time, especially. I think it's on sale right now. I think it's like $8.
Yeah. It's on Switch, right? Because the Switch are having their spring sale right now. I might pick it up. That might be the platformer I play after I get all the strawberries in Celeste.
Oh, I bow down to you.
Luck.
I did that for about 10 hours, and I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm just going to beat this game. So I tip my hat to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to get them.
I
already have like most of them.
Good job.
They're really
That's
hard
awesome.
ones, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, there was the hotel. There's one in the hotel with those little crawly things that would pop up once you ran past them in Celeste.
Yeah.
And I could not get that. I think I spent 3 days on that strawberry because I had to you had to bounce correctly and then reverse bounce because you couldn't touch the walls where you just touched them. And that was the one that broke me. And I'm like, I'm just going to beat this game now. Let's go.
Yeah.
I have this video on my desktop that's been in my desktop for forever. It was like when I first sat down to play Celeste on my first run through, I went into that hotel and I sat there for 3 hours in this one jump that I just could not get. And I like have the recording of me just dying over and over again. I don't know why I kept that, but I always just found it funny that like I was just doing the same mistake over and over again, just couldn't get it. But like I never stopped. I never like gave up. That's something weird about that game. I wonder, does Messenger have the same sort of thing where it's like when it gets too hard, do you want to quit or do you want to keep going?
I want to keep going, but that's just me. I think what's kind of funny about that is when you do die, you do kind of get this little demon character who actually gives you shit.
He's a little red demon character.
He's a little red demon guy.
In a platformer.
On a platformer. So
never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. But no, he actually gives you like so much freaking sass. Like it's one of those, you know what? If you die before you can like get him to go away, because he actually takes some of your coins, like instead of you collecting them, he eats them. And so he'll go away when he gets full. But if you die, it actually racks up the total and you have to give him more coins. But usually in the death screen, he'll be like, dude, you know what? If you just jumped, that probably would have worked. Or, I'm going to the shop. Maybe you should find something about spike damage. And like he gives you so much sass, but it's not like, I want to quit. It's just like, you know what, you little thing, shut up. I'm going to do this my way. But it's not as uplifting. And I think that's the right word of Celeste. Celeste is uplifting when you mess up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's forgiving, and it's also like, just keep trying. And that's where I feel like some of the platformers out there that do pride themselves on their difficulty go a little bit wrong. Because there's a tightrope walk between difficulty and frustration.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and dip into the Messenger when I make some time and see how that stacks up to some other platformers I play. Because I do always love a good platformer.
You and me both.
Fair enough. So yeah, now we transition into our second half of the podcast called Community Play. I need a tune for that.
Hey, community.
Yeah. Hey, community. All you loyal viewers out there. Our first question comes from Ash and Rose. I gotta prepare you.
Okay.
Ash is kind of a hot take, right?
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So I've got something I need to get off my chest.
Okay.
Animal Crossing is way too successful. I've never seen a game so universally adored when it doesn't have the right to be. Don't get me wrong, it's a fine game. It just seems like the game gets a free pass while other games are torn into the ground. For example, Pokemon Sword and Shield released almost half a year ago, and it got flack for only allowing you to control the camera with the right analog stick while you were in the wild area. A huge area, I might point out. Meanwhile, New Horizons only lets you control the camera when you're in your dumb little house.
Or anybody else's house.
Also, I spent most of my game time just catching some dumb creatures. Not that it wasn't fun, just none of the things that I caught were interesting. No cool designs or colors, just little real-world insects. Nothing like the hundreds of cool Pokemon designs you get in Sword and Shield. Am I totally off base here, or is at least some of the Animal Crossing success because people want to like it? Because it's suddenly become cool on social media. Gotta catch them all. I mean, thank you for looking at my question.
Thank
you so much, Ash, for writing in.
Yeah, how's your dad, by the way?
We appreciate the hot takes.
Wow, John.
But I don't get that. How do you know this person? Like,
I don't. I want to be nice to most people, and I was asking Ash how his dad was.
It's always nice. How's your dad?
Yeah, how's your dad?
Yeah. Personally, for me, I do get the sentiment where even in like before Animal Crossing came out this time around, like probably since it got announced at that direct, it did become suddenly very cool on social media to like Animal Crossing and to be excited for Animal Crossing. Like a bunch of people that I never like connected with Animal Crossing in my head just sort of came out of the woodwork and started tweeting about it, and then like that got other people sucked in. It's weird. I sort of get where it's coming from.
I think part of why everybody has come out of the woodwork is because they made such a misstep with Amiibo Festival. Because the game on the Wii U, like, I have fun with it, but I also only played it for a few hours. I don't know, like Amiibo Festival, like they could have made it really fun. They could have made it more like Mario Party or something, but just the way that they did it is
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like the movie trilogy thing where the first movie's really good, and then like you tank the sequel so that when the third movie comes around, everyone thinks it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that Animal Crossing has had a very big following for a long time. It's just like it's the latest mainline game was on the DS, and I feel like the DS was just such an underrated console at the time that it came out.
For sure, yeah.
And then they finally introduced Amiibo stuff, but by then the game had been out for a long time.
I think also too, if you look at it, what's the biggest difference between when New Leaf came out and Switch right now is social media.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
Twitter and Instagram, they were still like in their infancies when those games came out, and now that's how we communicate. And so I get the idea where Ash is coming from, because it seems a little weird. Like, holy crap, everyone loves this game.
Yeah. Well, like it's also kind of like what you were saying earlier, Finn, is you're not sure if you're going to be playing this game in a year still.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how most people are with Animal Crossing. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be playing it here in a year. And then you have other people, like I read an article where one guy has like been getting into his GameCube village like almost every day. Like he plays one of his Animal Crossings every single day and has for like 10 years almost.
Wow.
And I'm just there like, how? But you also have to remember the original GameCube actually had an emulator in it. And like you could get an NES in the game, and then you could get into the NES and play some games. Original NES games, but on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it also, and we said this when we were talking about Animal Crossing, is it's almost like the stars aligned and the world that is unfortunately in chaos, and we all needed a bright star, something positive in our lives, and this is what happened. And I think that's what helped the giant wave that is Animal Crossing.
I also think that this is possibly the best use of online features that Nintendo has done so far.
I will second that one. I think this is probably the best way that online has worked.
To be fair, not a very high bar to clear.
No, absolutely
not at all. But like by any other standards, this is it's child's play.
Yeah, for sure.
But that being said, this is also one of the better internet connections.
And I think it's the cultural zeitgeist of the Nintendo Switch. I want to say last month, it surpassed the Wii in Japan in sales.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was like last month or last week. I saw
it was
that.
recent.
It was very recent that like it has surpassed Wii, and that's a feat within itself.
Oh yeah.
So to know that and how many people have this system, and making it easier for people to play it with the Switch Lite, I think it's one of those, like, it came in at the right time. Social media got behind it.
Yeah.
People are like, dude, I know it sucks now around like real life. Get this game to at least have a breath of fresh air. And I think that's probably what has caused this cultural swell of Animal Crossing, and people coming together and doing the little things like I Am 8-Bit did with the, oh, hey, here's my stuff. You guys can go ahead and have it. Yeah. And like the creators behind it.
You want to have Doom as your town theme? Here's how you
I think that probably helped too. Doom and Animal Crossing, like those two coming together probably put a lot more people, Animal Crossing on the radar of a lot more people, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think that probably helped out tremendously as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think you guys sort of covered the bases, right? It's mainly two things in my head. Like, firstly, again, like back when New Leaf was kicking on the DS, I was in high school. So like me and my male group of friends who talked about video games, like Animal Crossing never came up in conversation, right?
No.
So like the social media aspect of it, where I'm just seeing these really like devoted people who now have this internationally big megaphone get to like shout about their favorite
Yeah.
game. It's immersive. You get sucked into it, and like you want to feel what they're feeling about this game. You're intrigued. But it's also like, again, like the interesting little sidebar discussion you can have where you do look at how well the Switch is doing. You do look at the catalog where you have like Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Smash Ultimate, Pokemon game where you can use the right analog stick. And now Animal Crossing, you have to sit back and think, like, is this Nintendo's best system? I think it might be. It's definitely a contender.
Plus, just the ability of third-party companies to port things to the Switch.
Right. Very easy.
It's fantastic. And then Limited Run getting behind it and having all of these physical releases for those who want it.
Yeah,
like,
just the message from Nintendo
awesome.
has changed from the Wii U, and they learned hard from the Wii U. But yeah, you're right. Like Steam was like the only place to get indie games.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, all right, when's it coming to the Switch?
Yeah.
I see this indie game, like I want it. When are you coming to the Switch? Because
and then so many indie games now are also going, okay, this is going to be a Switch exclusive for a little bit.
We've got a time exclusive of an indie game. So yeah, I think you're right, Finn. I think this is. I still think it's a little too early, but I think it's a high contender for one of the best Nintendo consoles, period.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So, Ash, don't get too salty. Just like enjoy the good vibes. Enjoy the good vibes.
Yeah.
While
And also wait 2 years. I'm pretty sure your game that you've been wanting, Pokemon, in 2 years is going to be absolutely amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think especially when I don't think we're getting a Pokemon this year. I think they had to really get a game out on the Switch. So that there's all that controversy. So I'm thinking probably, what is it? It's 2022. The Pokemon game in 2022 might be the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon.
I think it could be.
Very well could be. I'm eager to see it because I haven't touched a mainline Pokemon game since Silver, right? Just because I heard that like it doesn't really get better on Silver or Silver and Gold. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go recently, but yeah, I'm really eager to get back into like a mainline Pokemon game. So let's see what happens with that.
Yep.
Next question comes from Coco. Now I'm looking at the letter here, guys. Like in the bottom right where Coco put their name, it does look like a little bit is like burned off the edge. So there might be more to that name. It might be like Coco Chanel or something else, but I'm just gonna assume it's Coco, right? Okay.
Or
so
it might start with a B.
It might do.
I mean, it could.
Yeah. Coco Beware from 80s WWF. Anyway. Hello. I feel like when I talk to my friends about games I've played in my childhood, they've never heard of any of the games I've loved so much. And likewise, I haven't heard of the games they've played either. Tell me, what are some games that you've played that you don't think that many people have heard of? Anything come to mind?
Detention. We found that.
Okay.
Oh
Tell
my
me.
God, this game. We found it from Red Candle Games. Like it was, we've seen it floating around. I've seen the artwork a little bit.
Like I saw it. I was looking for some random horror game like a couple Halloweens ago, and there was one that was coming out like a week after we were trying to record for YouTube. So I was just like, okay, I'll put this in my cart, in my wish list, and keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Because maybe we'll use it in the future.
Yeah. And finally, it was this past Halloween that I was like, all right, let's play it. I love horror games. I freaking love them, mainly because I'm trying to find a horror game that will scare me.
Yeah.
The last game that legitimately scared me was PT. And then before that was Clock Tower 3 on the PlayStation 1. I was 7. So I was like, all right, let's try this game, the game called Detention. And it's based in 1960 Taiwan when they were under martial law. And like you get thrown in there and you're like, what is happening? And like it takes you on so many different twists and turns, supernatural.
It takes place in a school.
And it takes place in school. It's supernatural.
There's murder mysteries.
It scared the hell out of me.
It did.
Like I was
you
not.
You can hear his reactions on YouTube.
I was not prepared to be so disturbed by a game like this, and it was so well done. And I'm like, all right, well done, Red Candle, well done, Detention. This game, people need to play this game, especially if you're looking for a horror game. It's very point and click, which that's not my jam, but I was the one playing it. And I'm like, this is great. I've never really got a feel for a point and click game, and this one really kind of sunk its teeth into me, and I just couldn't. We had to finish it. And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. I think it's on the Switch now or coming soon.
I think it is on the Switch now. Yeah, we played it on Steam, and just if you want a deep dive into craziness, look up Red Candle Games and the crap they have gone through.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I want to play their second game.
Yeah, their second game got pulled from Steam because of propaganda.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what?
Lot of political side story or like story surrounding that game. It's really cool to look into if you find some articles.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest indie game. I'm thinking back like when I was a kid and Radius.
For me, it's mostly like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Like normally it's dumb licensed games that I played. Like the Flushed Away platformer. I loved that when I was growing up. There was one that my aunt bought me for Christmas one year. It was a kart racer, believe it or not. But it was just called ATV Racers. And it was just this like these dumb little colorful animals. And it was very bad. It was not a good game, but it was a kart racer. So I played it. But like, I'll be surprised if anyone listening to this podcast has played that game or even remembers it. If you know what I'm talking about, you can see the cover in your head. It's like this little purple weird monstrosity like freak, and he's just like riding in his little cart. But like, if you have heard of it or played it, tweet me at hyphenated. I would love to see anyone else who's played that game.
I've played it. I know which one you're talking about.
You know it?
Yeah, I know it. I can see the crystal case in my head right now. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
You're ribbing me right now, dude. I've never heard of anyone who's played this game.
No. I remember playing it because that's the thing. I didn't have a PlayStation 1 when I was a kid. My cousins did. And I distinctly remember that was actually probably the same time I played Clock Tower 3, but they had that ATV game and I was like, this looks cool. And I played it. I know which one you're talking about.
Wow. Okay.
And sticking with that kart racer game, was it Dune? No, it wasn't Dune Buggies. It was when VW redesigned the Beetle, the car, the Beetle. They released, or someone released, an N64 game about Beetle, like the VW Beetle in the redesign, but it was like I don't want to say battle royale, but you would actually get power-ups. And what you would do is it was like a destruction derby, but with like rockets and crap like that. And you're trying to blow up each other's Beetles. That's all you had. You didn't have any other car. It was VW Beetles. Like the cart for the N64 was blue.
Yeah.
Because that was the iconic color of the Beetle, was the blue Beetle.
Yeah. That's why I wanted a blue Beetle.
I know.
It was fantastic.
The other recommendation for me from like a game that I don't think enough people have heard of is it's particularly relevant right now. It's gaining a bit more steam as people like discover it. It's a game that came out last year called Kind Words. It got nominated for a game award. Yeah, you guys have heard of it.
Yeah, we played it a little bit.
Yeah, the gimmick of the game is you're in this little like cube room and you're just this little character, and lo-fi music is playing in the background. Right, if you've ever seen the stream on YouTube of the girl doing her homework while lo-fi hip hop plays, that's
that one.
The vibe of the game. That's the type of music it plays, and the whole idea of the game is you're either writing out to like the world, just anything you're thinking about or feeling, or just want to put some good vibes out there, and you can send that letter like off into the world. This little like bird mailman comes and gets it from you. No, it's a giraffe. It's a giraffe that comes to your window and gets the mail, and then like you might get some like responses to it. Like it sort of works like a write-in. Like you could say, I'm having this problem in my life right now, and people will respond, or you could just like put good vibes out there. It's essentially whatever you want, as long as it's in good faith. And then like people, you can respond to other people's problems, and especially like they couldn't have foresaw this, but like this game is especially relevant right now with everyone being in their homes. I feel like this is a really good way to connect to other humans in a non-conventional way.
Yeah, I've been seeing the uptick of that game too, because we played it on stream a couple months ago, and we were the only ones on.
Yeah,
it was really weird. Like we would send
our own responses.
Yeah, we were getting our responses, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we're going to move on to games now because we figured more people would be on on a Friday night. But no, I agree with you. That game is fantastic and a nice, interesting way to connect.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, it has this very, like, Animal Crossing-esque thing to it where whenever you send a letter, you could attach these little stickers or whatever you collected. And if that person that has the letter hasn't got that sticker, they, like, now have that and they can put it up in their room. You can get, like, little items and stuff like that as well. You can decorate. It's cool. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
That's really cute. The game that I chose is actually Interfectorum. This is a game that we stumbled across on Steam, and it's a visual novel, in case you haven't noticed a theme with me, about a girl named Alice. She's a young sheriff in training who lives alone with her sister Sally in a small town next to the woods. And then Alice goes on a hike one day. When she comes home, she finds her younger sister brutally murdered. And then, overcome with grief and vengeance, Alice embarks on a mission to find her sister's killer by following the trail of bodies the murderer leaves behind. So she goes through this whole thing, but the reason that I really like this game is because of who actually produced it. It's this group called Girls Make Games, and so every year they have this summer camp, and it's all for girls who are like elementary to high school level, like they're all under 18. And they get these girls together, they teach them how to code, what makes a good game, what you can do to tweak a game, what goes into making the art of the game. They have people come in to talk to them from like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. Yeah. A lot of developers will come in and they'll teach these girls different ways of how to make the game. And then each summer camp has a competition to see who can make the best game. And then at the end of the summer, they take the winners from each of those camps and they bring them all together again. And they're just like, okay, who's going to win the game? And then they take that winner and they make a Kickstarter. And so the Kickstarter just goes through. You can back it or not. And so this year, I think it was a team of preteen. I think it was like this group was like 11 to 15 years old. And they've now had an entire game published.
Wow. Nice.
And it's published. It's out there for you to buy. This happens every single year. And so it's just something that's really cool to see that.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I really want to do whatever we can to help with this Girls Make Games. I know they just tweeted out maybe yesterday or 2 days ago that they're going to do digital way this way because of what's going on.
That's awesome.
But they're going to keep it going with making sure that we can get more females in the gaming industry on that one. Because that Interfectorum was I loved it. I thought it was great because when you
there were a couple times when we kind of ragged on it for the story itself, but then once we realized that
it was 15-year-olds
teenagers writing the story.
Like, all right, well, you did better than me. I've never made a game, so I'm gonna back off on razzing you a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. I like that they're able to do that and get multiple games out. There's a big one that they are like, this is the one that we're going to kickstart or someone's going to produce it. And they do have the opportunity of being picked up by like Nintendo or any of the publishers can actually pick it up and fund the rest of it and then put it out. And then if they want to, they can do a Kickstarter. But yeah, I think I love this program. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, agreed. That sounds cool. So now we move on to our last question of the episode. I have to prepare for this one.
Okay. Take your time.
Cypress.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm wondering. I can't do this. I'm just going to read it normally. No, okay.
You should have sent it to me. I would have done it. I'm like, yeah.
I'll commit. Cypress. I was wondering what you guys think about video game movies. I myself was able to take part in a video game movie adaptation this past February. It was a little rocky at the first, but we listened to fan feedback and it came out all right. Tell me, what video game would you like to see adapted into a movie, and what would be the most important thing they'd need to get right? So yeah, that was I'm trying to read the name. It's too fast. I can't read the name.
Way too fast.
Yeah,
it just blurred right past you.
Yeah,
was it blue?
Just can't read it. So yeah, but funny you should. The text isn't blue. I don't know why. It's on my computer. I didn't do that, but it's blue, and I can't read the names too fast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
So yeah, video game movies. For me, there's a very obvious one that sticks out in my head that I've wanted to see ever since the game released. No, not that one, not the one you're thinking of.
I was like, oh, here it comes.
No, I think you're going to actually like my idea here. I would like a full-length feature film animated adaptation of Cuphead.
Ooh, I do like that. And I can't wait for Netflix to drop their series.
Yeah, they are working on that series, aren't they? Yeah. Is it going to be like in that style? I never got any. I'm
pretty sure. I think
so.
MDMR. I think that's right. MDMR.
MDHR.
MDHR. Yeah, I think they said like it is going to stay in the style of that one. But I think that would work better as a feature length movie.
Yeah,
now
I could see that.
Yeah, because I like the idea of the serialized concept.
Yeah.
But a feature length movie just kind of makes more sense. You get that one bite. You're ready to go. It's just absolutely bonkers. Yeah, and you can leave the theater having a good time. I like that. Yeah, I like that better than having it being a TV show.
I like the one thing they need to get right is, like I said, that they need to animate it in the style of the game. Like I picture in my head some movie execs funding a Cuphead like movie or series or whatever, and it's just like 3D animation of Cuphead. And
God.
No like little flickery effects on it to make it all like 50 style or 20 style, I guess. Like I can just see that so vividly in my head, and I'm like, I hate you. Unnamed movie executives. But no, I would love like a hand-drawn Cuphead
That would
movie.
be great.
So instead of a movie, can I go with a series?
Yeah. No rules here. Loosey-goosey. Let's go. What do you got?
Bloodborne. But with the people who did Castlevania.
Oh.
God bless it. Really?
Yeah.
Guess what I was going to say?
Bloodborne
by the guy that did Castlevania. We didn't even talk about this.
We did not talk about this.
Tears so in sync. My God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's just how we roll. But yeah, like there's we've talked about this. There's so much lore in Bloodborne that is not brought out in the game.
Yeah.
Like you could even make this a prequel to the Bloodborne game and just how did this world get to this state?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the best use of video game adaptations for either movies or TV is to like not go over the same tired stories that we play in the video games because you're just not going to be able to match those. But if the world needs expanding and you need a little bit more to flesh it out, like TV series are great for that. Castlevania is a perfect example. It sort of does go over the story again, but like it also fleshes out the world in a really nice way.
Yeah. Well, damn. Okay, hold on. I really was going to say Bloodborne. I messed you
up. I'm sorry.
I was going to say episodic Bloodborne, and I was like, it can't be done in live action. It wouldn't be right. No. And I'm like, I can never pronounce the guy's name, but the guy that produced
Adi Shankar, right?
Adi Shankar. Yep, that's right. Thank you. And I know I'm excited for Devil May Cry because he's doing that, and I want him. Just give him Bloodborne, damn it.
Yeah.
I was disappointed when I heard the Devil May Cry news because I heard that Adi Shankar's next adaptation was going to be Hyper Light Drifter, right? Which is a game I played and I didn't think anyone cared about.
That would be great.
But I heard there was a definite headline I saw where it's like Adi Shankar is making Hyper Light Drifter for Netflix, and I was like, I am down for this. And then
you know what? I
didn't hear anything else.
Yeah, because I know that when he tweeted, or they were like the rumors were going around about him going to start something new. It went. I remember Hyperlight. I remember them even going, Jesus Christ, did he get Zelda? Because apparently recently he was talking with Miyamoto, and so they were talking about like, did they talk him and them into like giving him Zelda? And I'm like, there's no way in the world. There's no way he got Zelda, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But oh God, I would love a Hyperlight Drifter movie or series. There's like the character doesn't talk. The style of it, you could just do what you want, expand the story.
Yeah,
That's great.
Keep it with the same art style.
If you can keep it with the same art style, or what he's done with Castlevania,
True.
I would. Oh God, I would love that.
Like it may not be obvious that a show where the main character doesn't talk or like nobody really talks can't work, but for anyone who's watched Samurai Jack, like that show is very quiet. Like that can go for half an episode, if not a full episode, of just no one talking and just the animation speaks for itself.
Plus, and I'm not trying to take away from that, but even when you don't have characters who talk, then that also kind of gives you more freedom in how to voice them.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think Hyper Light Drifter would be great. Like, I know we all want a Legend of Zelda done by Studio Ghibli. I think that's the only way to do it correctly and do it justice. I want them to not have Link talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think to pull that off correctly.
I want him to talk, but only if his voice is ludicrous. Like, it's like, hey guys, I'm Link.
I'm the hero of Hyrule.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, just shut up. Let's
only if he
not have
sounds
that.
like Goofy, right? Only if he sounds like Goofy.
Right. Since I stole your answer, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Like, I actually had like 3, and I'm trying to figure out which one I like the best. And
just say them all. Just say them all.
Well, I thought like maybe Red Dead would be really cool to stay in that world and that's an actual live action movie that you could do in the world.
Yeah.
Where you can expound upon the world itself, and not really do John Marsden or I can't remember Red Dead 2's character's name. I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur, thank you. Or Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ooh.
I think if you get the right director.
Would you want to do the game, or would that also be some type of prequel?
The prequel would be cool to see how. Well, I don't know. It'd be
maybe even
like,
not a prequel to like how the world changed, but maybe a prequel like before her death. Maybe focus on. I've only seen a little bit of the game, but maybe focus on her father figure and like how he became an outcast and his life before he was.
In my dream world, the like series takes part in like either Aloy's story or another village or whatever, but like there's a whole episode that just like goes back to those moments before like the apocalypse happened. Right? There's just a whole episode where it goes back to, I guess, modern day, but it's like even like a little bit in the future. So, but yeah.
You know what? That would probably work better as a series. I'm starting to really understand how much series can do. Like I loved The Witcher. I loved Castlevania.
Yeah.
And how much story you can tell instead of cramming it all in 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It's fantastic, the world building that can take place suddenly.
I'm thinking
and
about
that's
like
kind of what I've gotten from books for years. And then they try and cram all of that world building into a 2-hour movie. And it's just like, this doesn't work, guys.
Yeah. And I'm thinking of the idea of doing Horizon Zero Dawn with the director of photography that did most of the Game of Thrones, kind of have that look to it. Where it's that feel,
but
a little more dirty,
brighter,
but a little brighter, yeah. Because that's
brighter color palette,
brighter color palette, because that's what made Horizon Zero Dawn fantastic. Was
lots
just the
of
color
blue and orange.
Yeah,
yes.
So that would be the way to go instead of just drab and dark as Game of Thrones. But something like that, I think that would be really, really cool. I liked Sonic.
Yeah.
I actually had fun with it.
I actually thought that movie was fun.
So,
it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. I
probably last answer for me is like a joke answer. I would love it if someday I woke up and there was a movie trailer for Tetris. I don't know what it would be. I would just I don't care what it would be. I would just love to see it made.
As long as it's not pixel, like close to Pixels was, I'd be okay with that.
Oh, dude, like, yeah, the L blocks and stuff are like falling from the sky and they don't know why. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd watch I'd watch all these. That'd be cool.
I don't know how long I would watch Tetris, but yeah, I would try.
Oh, I would love. It would just be. It would be a bad movie, right? It would star like Adam Sandler,
but like so long as you know it's going to be a bad movie, then sure, I'll try it.
Yeah, Jack Black and Adam Sandler save the world from the Lion Piece.
Exactly. Let's do it.
So, yeah, thank you for all of your questions, and thank you for tuning into this inaugural episode of Playdate. This is where I would hopefully direct you to where you can find us. But again, I'm just going to link you to couchcapade's.tv for now. And yeah, we'll be back next month for another episode. So yeah, until then, thanks guys for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.